So we went back. We all had dinner together at this diner and stuff like that. And we were all like, well, that was crazy what just happened and all that shit. And, you know, big moment. So the next day I'm off. The next day I'm driving up. I lived in New Hampshire at the time, driving back up. And as soon as I get home, there's a message from Vince's office, his secretary, saying, Vince would like to see you first thing in the morning tomorrow. And I'm like, fuck. Like, this isn't going to be good. Like, he ain't calling to go like, dude, wonderful job. Like, it's my day off. I got to, you know, I got to go there. So I like literally turn around, drive all the way back, go back to the office the next day. And this is the meeting where like everybody's freaking out. And Vince was even putting it on. I wasn't so sure that he was upset with it. Everybody else. And you have to understand, all the producers and agents backstage that help with the show and everything are a generation before ours. So they're of the generation of protect the business at all costs. Yeah. Bad guys don't ride with good guys, right? Yeah. To some degree. They all go nuts when they see this. And now Kevin's leaving, Scott's leaving, and to those producers and agents, well, look, it looks bad for Vince. It looks like the inmates are running the asylum and he doesn't have control over these guys, this group, the clique, is doing whatever they want and they spit right in your face. And if you don't do something, it looks bad. It's a disrespectful type thing. And I don't think Vince took it that way, but I think that's what he always had a saying, perception is reality. And perception amongst them was this. And so, as soon I knew, I wasn't sure. I'm like, well, I'm either going to get fired or this is going to be like, I'm going to get like, this is going to be heavy. And,
what a drive from New Hampshire.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. So, but I was, I was kind of like, well, it is what it is. Right?
Okay.
And I'm a big believer in like, if you're going to do something that in your mind, is kind of fucked up, like you cannot cry afterwards with whatever comes about from it. Like you made the decision to do it. So if the ramifications of that are way worse than you thought, well, that's on you.
It is.
You made the choice. So, it's a pretty heavy meeting, and Vince is like, look, it's unfair. It's all these things, but Kev's leaving, Scott's leaving. I can't do anything to them. Kid wasn't there, but Shawn was there, but he's the WWE champion. Like
Shawn Michaels is the champ. Can't punish the champ.
There's not much I can do to him.
So you're like, you have to call it a wash, right? We just move on, huh?
And and he was like, well, here's the thing. A lot of people are saying I should fire you. And I'm like, okay, what are you saying? And he said, I don't want to fire you. I think you're incredibly talented. I want you here, but I've got to do something. And so he goes, you were going to win King of the Ring. That's going to go away. You were going to do this program with Shawn. That's going to go away.
Damn.
You are going to, and this is one of Vince's favorite sayings, but this was the time when he said it to me when I hit the hardest. He said, you are going to have to learn to eat platefuls of shit and like the taste of it.
Damn.
And okay. And I said, so the one thing, I was accepting of it. Obviously it hit hard, but I was accepting of it. And I said to him before I left, I said, because he said, but if you want to leave, he said, I understand. This is not all on you. If you want to leave, if you think you can get a job with Turner with those guys, if you want to leave, I understand that. I'll make it where there's a loophole in your contract.
Oh, that's decent.
And you can get out.
Did you consider? Did you look into it?
I didn't want. I had come from there.
Yeah, of course.
Right. So before I came in, so I kind of knew, even though it had risen dramatically and their business had gone through the roof, I was like, I don't want to be there. I'm here for a reason. This is the place where they can make me.
What felt better? What felt different?
They didn't have a clue what they were doing there.
Okay.
And it was literally the inmates running the asylum. And I knew that, like, you knew you had a boss right here. You knew that there was one place to get the final answer from, and that it came from one place. And that sometimes it's all you need is, whether you like the decision or you don't, you need somebody to make a decision. It can't be, well, I think this, and then you go to this guy and he's like, no, I don't want to do that. I want to do this. And he's got some kind of creative control, but this other guy's got creative control too. And it's just a mess, man. It's a mess. So one of the things I said to Vince was, I said, I don't want to leave. I said, if I have no choice, then, well, that's what I have to do. But I said, let me just ask a question I said, I did the crime. I'll take all the punishment, but I have to know, is there a point where this ends? Is there a light at the end of the tunnel? I'm willing to go through all the shit. I'm willing to take it. I'm willing to do the time for what I did, but I got to know there's an end point on it. If you say to me, I can't get out of this, then I got to go.
Mm-hmm.
But if you say to me, no, it'll be a period of time, and then you'll get the opportunity, as long as I'm still delivering to where you feel like I deserve that opportunity. If I can get that opportunity, then I stay. And he said, as far as I'm concerned, there's no issue with me. He said, as far as I'm concerned, when you walk out that door of my office, it's over. It's all done, and you're on flat ground with me. He said, but I gotta, for a period of time, I gotta put this out to everybody else that you're fucked. And then once I feel like that's been enough, then as long as you're still delivering, you get the opportunity to come back up. So I left there, and one of the things that I said to him before I left is I went to the door and I stopped and I said, hey, I just want to ask you one thing, and I just want it to be something that you think about because it's been resonating with me, is I understand everybody's point of view, but the world is changing and the business is changing. And I said, if what we did was so bad, then why was the largest or the loudest reaction of the entire night what we did? Like, if what we did was so bad, isn't our job to entertain those people that all paid? I guarantee you the one thing they left there saying is, holy shit, at the end, they all came out. It was this moment. It was real, right? Like I said, the business is changing, and we're either going to change with it or it's going to pass us by. And he sat there for a second and he said, you might be right, but right now isn't the moment.
That's actually wise, yeah.
And I left. And then, I went from being the guy that was going to win King of the Ring to being the guy that was losing in the first round. And Jake Roberts, who was, fairly old at the time, was sticking the snake down my pants as a ha-ha thing. And, I had I got every shit detail, every bad thing I got given to me.
What are examples of that? Like, what are examples of you getting fucked?
Whoever was the worst guy that they wanted me to get over, like, just go put that guy, go get beat.
So you'd have to wrestle these guys that they're trying to build up, and they all have to beat you.
Yeah, and I'm not on any media anymore. I'm not featured in the shows.
Right. You're just there. You're a B-side fighter.
I'm just at best. Right. At best.
In boxing, we'd call it a tomato can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At best. And then time went on, and eventually it got to a point where I'm a big believer in, like, if you're talented, and I'll say that about myself, I guess, in that manner, but if you believe in yourself and you believe in your talent, then they can't only hold that back for so long. That'll eventually come out and it'll eventually rise to the top. And it's not about the storyline they give you always or the thing they give you. It's about creating your moments. This is something I tell talent all the time: maximize your minutes. So even if I went out there with a shit detail, I would find something in there for me to have a moment that, oh, that was good, or whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I would have that one moment where I at least felt like I came back and I was like, that was horrible, but I at least got this out of it.
Made the best of it.
Yeah.